Hi there, this is Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your host for The Night Sky This Week. Today is December 5th, 2023. Hope you had a great weekend. Sorry I wasn't here around yesterday. We had a snowstorm, we had power outage. It was just a big mess here in Montreal. We got over a foot of snow for those of you in the States. For those of us here, and I'm using the metric system, that's over 30 centimeters of snow, so lots of shoveling and all that. Not much stargazing for a little while now. Hopefully it'll clear up for me. I just love doing stargazing this time of the year because there's just so many objects that are bright, especially deep sky objects within constellations. It's just a treasure trove of different amazing things that you can see in the night sky this time of the year. Hey, I've got the comments open. I love to hear where you're watching from, where all my stargazing friends are located around the world. It's just great to see you guys chiming in, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or Twitch. I love to see you guys participate in these live streams that I put out every week. And if you find any value in it, please do some good by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing and following my channels. That means a lot. It allows me to bring these live streams to you every week and curating it, especially with all these different cool stuff that you can see in the night sky every week, making that easier for you, I hope. So why don't we dive in right away and see what's in the planetarium program? While I do that, let me check to see who we have here. We've got Jesse watching on YouTube from Oregon. Great of you to be here. We have Svir, Ziad, from Lebanon. So nice of you to take the time to just tune in, drop by, and participate. Thanks so much. And there's Margot, also from Missouri. Wonderful to see you, Margot. Welcome. It's great to see folks from all the different platforms tuning in. So this is the sky setup basically now for Tuesday, December 5th, just as the sun is setting. And so I'm going to just go ahead and just go slightly take the minutes, use some of the minutes after the sunset here, and you can see the sky starts to darken. And by the way, I'm using Sky Safari Pro. Love this planetarium program. Highly recommend it. And in this rendition, we can see that Mercury right here is in the southwest. So right now, actually yesterday, December 4th, that it was at greatest elongation. This is the technical jargon, basically meaning that the Mercury will be the farthest away from the sun from our vantage point here on Earth. So for us sky watchers, little average earthlings looking up at the sky, this is pretty much the best time to see Mercury in our evening skies, just after sunset. Now, of course, seeing Mercury has its own challenges because, as you can see, I'm here, maybe, a half hour, 20 minutes after sunset. There's still a lot of glow from the sunset, but right there you can see that what you're looking for is this faint dot in the sky, suspended in that glow of the sunset. It's very cool to be able to see Mercury because not many people do get a chance to it. It's a bit of an observing challenge and timing. It's all about timing when you're looking for Mercury. Because of it is embedded in that sky glow, there's that sweet spot, maybe about 20, 30 minutes to 40 minutes after sunset, where the skies darken enough in that area where the sunset is, as you can see here, that Mercury kind of pops into view. Now, I'll tell you what will help you to track down Mercury is, of course, being able to use binoculars. Binoculars will help you tremendously. Now, I'll show you something. I'll show you an orbital view of Mercury, where it is in space in relation to the sun and the Earth. And check this out. So here we are. We're magically flying around. There's Mercury up close, but I'm going to zoom out from Mercury. These lines that you're seeing here, each of those represents the pathway of different planets, okay, in the solar system around the sun. And you'll see what I mean if I just zoom out. There's the sun, and I'm going to look from above the plane of the solar system. See all the tracks of the planets here, they all kind of around the same plane, right? So if you look at this, the solar system on its side, it looks like that. If you look at it from above, you can see the circular pattern of the orbits. And there you go. So this is the inner solar system. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you can see there is Earth right there at the bottom, and there's the sun, and there's Mercury. So take a look at this, folks. Do you see what I mean when I'm talking about greatest elongation? I mean, farthest away from the sun, from our vantage point here on Earth. So you can see there's Earth, there's Mercury. So here we are, we're stuck on this little blue marble, right? And we're looking, the sun has set, and then look, you see, that's about as far away as Mercury can reach from its distance away from the sun. Physically, it's the distance, and from our vantage point. So this is why this is right now, this week, a great opportunity to see Mercury because of its distance away from our vantage point from the sun. So that glare isn't bothersome as it usually is. So take advantage of it. Find a spot that is very clear view towards the southwestern horizon. Wait about 20 minutes, 30 minutes after sunrise. Make sure you bring some binoculars and use those binoculars to find Mercury in the sky there. And I'm going to look to see here, it sets, not too far after the sunset. So that's something. And let me just see here, its altitude, it's about 8 degrees. So what does this mean? 8 degrees. So if I take my fist and I hold it out. You see me, if you look at me on the little corner of your screen, you see on an outstretched arm, I have my fist. My fists from my thumb to my pinky finger is about 10 degrees in the sky. Okay, that's 10 degrees of space in the sky. And if you hold it out at arm's length like that, vertically, and you put it underneath Mercury, so you see where Mercury is, and you put your fist underneath, like from the horizon upward, Mercury is gonna be within that space in front of you. So you can see very close to the horizon. It's a good way to kind of find a spot, maybe by a lakeside, for instance, would be a good place. Somewhere where you just don't have obstructions, and you'll be able to find Mercury. So that's a big highlight this week, is trying to find it. It's this challenge of finding Mercury. I put that out to you. Check that out. It's a lot of fun. Now, what else is in the sky? So after sunset, what else can you see? Well, the other star-like objects that pop into view definitely will be Saturn. Saturn in the southern sky. And then I think the easiest will, of course, be Jupiter. Jupiter is the brightest planet in the evening sky, and it's rising in the east very soon after sunsets. As soon as darkness begins to fall, look towards the east, and you won't miss it. It'll be this very, very bright star-like object, and that's planet Jupiter. Now, if we go, couple of hours after sunset into the evening, say after dinner time, around 7, 8 o'clock, you'll see Jupiter much higher, but you'll also begin to see other stars. And in fact, there's this beautiful triangular formation that Jupiter forms with 2 real stars. And I want you to go out and look for that this week. It's really neat. One of them is Aldebaran, which is the eye of Taurus, the bull constellation, and the other one is Capella, as a yellowish colored star in the constellation Auriga. And so these 3 dots, bright dots in the sky, Jupiter being the brightest dot, form this neat triangular formation. So it's a large chunk of sky that you're looking at. I know it looks small maybe on your screen while you're watching, but in fact, it's pretty large in the sky. It takes up a big chunk of the sky, but look for that triangular formation. Your eye will be drawn to this natural pattern in the sky. And it's just a wonderful way of beginning to understand the sky. Navigating the night sky is by finding these patterns. And I want you to go out this week and find this pattern in the sky. And you'll get to see 2 different constellations. Capella, which is part of, like I said, Auriga. But look at this constellation. It kind of looks like a child's drawing of a house, doesn't it? Kind of does. And these fainter stars around Capella, just, you connect the dots and it forms this house. There's the base of the house, and there is the pointy roof of this house. Capella marking one of the corners of that roof of this celestial house in the sky. So that's Auriga constellation, and you can easily see that. And meantime, Taurus, the bull, right now is prime time to see this amazing constellation. This week is great with the moon mostly out of the way, and you can see that there is this giant V-like formation. I want you to take a look at this. Maybe you have binoculars, but you don't necessarily need binoculars. This is something that's visible to the naked eye, even from moderately light polluted suburbs, right? We all hear about light pollution. Yes, but guess what? Light pollution is your friend in a sense. Okay, in one sense, if you're a beginner sky watcher, the light pollution kind of basically covers up the fainter stars, which can really be very confusing to a beginner sky watcher. So if you're just starting out learning the sky, going out on your typical suburban sky with moderate light pollution can help you find the big stars, the dominant stars in constellations. And that's what is going to happen with Taurus the bull too. If you look at Taurus the bull, you're going to be seeing the very bright star Aldebaran, right? Remember, this is part of that giant triangle that I'm talking about. So the one that's closest to the horizon, the point of the triangle that's upside down in the sky for us in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, this will be reversed. It'll be the other way around. Okay, so those of you in the southern hemisphere, remember that. But it's the same stars, same planets, all visible. And what you're looking at, that point of the triangle, that is Aldebaran. It's a star that's, it's 66 light years away. So you're looking back in time 66 years with Aldebaran. But what's also cool is that it marks the spot where there is one of the closest open star clusters to planet Earth. And it's called the Hyades star cluster. And I'll show you right here. It's these stars that make up, and I'm going to try to see if I can take that off there. There, you see this triangular shape here? That looks like a giant, actually like a giant V formation of stars. Aldebaran marks one side of that V letter in there. And that's the face of Taurus the bull. And it's just really impressive sight. And this is about 160, 180 light years away, this group of stars that are all associated with each other. They were born together, except for Aldebaran. Aldebaran's actually in front of the cluster. It's between us and the cluster, Aldebaran is. And so the Hyades cluster, this configuration of stars that marks the face of the bull, very easy to find with the naked eye. And if you have binoculars, it looks just beautiful. So do check that out. I'd love for you to see that. And of course, just above that, almost in halfway, if you draw a line between Jupiter and Capella, halfway in between, look for this small little beautiful gem. It's called the Pleiades star cluster, and I'm marking off these individual stars, but this in fact is a beautiful cluster that's visible to the naked eye. And they've named, you can see in this planetarium program, all the different stars that are members of the Pleiades star cluster, and that's about 444 light years away. That's the distance of Pleiades. You're looking back in time, again, 400 years, more than 4 centuries. What was the Earth like? What was humanity like back then? Is it in the 1600s? It's incredible that that's how we're seeing these stars. So every time you look up, you're looking back in time. It's a great form of time travel, right? Just a fantastic thing to see. Just saying hi to folks out there. Chris from United Kingdom is watching. Jim is out there. Just great. Thank you so much for joining. If you guys find value in this video, please give me a thumbs up. And subscribe to my channel, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. It means a lot, allows me to bring these videos to you every week live. So if we go magically now to the morning skies, I'm just going to zoom through into the morning. And some of you guys may be early morning folks. And what you'll see is Venus. See that? This is Venus in the morning. So this is tomorrow morning, December 6th, looking towards the southeast. And joining there close by is the moon, a beautiful crescent moon. So looking in the south. So these are going to be the two brightest objects. You might have seen it. Maybe you're walking your dog. Maybe you're standing at a bus stop. Maybe you're driving your car and you're heading towards the east or where the sun rises, and you've noticed that bright star-like object. That is actually our neighboring planet Venus, closest planet to us. And joining it this week is the crescent moon. Absolutely exquisite sight. Highly recommend it. So this is Wednesday, right? So why don't we jump forward in time later in the week and see what happens? So if we go to Thursday, look what's happening. Friday, the moon is heading for an encounter with Venus. This is Friday morning, and this is basically Saturday morning. This is it, folks. So mark that down on your calendar. December 9th, this coming up Saturday, is something worth getting out of bed for to see. I would say sweet spot to see this is probably about half hour, 45 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes, perhaps before sunrise, to see this gorgeous pairing. And this is a great time to take out your smartphones, guys, and take a picture and share them with me. Share them on my Facebook page or YouTube. Love to see your photos, or maybe on Instagram. You can just tag me. Love to see what kind of photos you can take of this beautiful close approach of the crescent moon and Venus. Again, Saturday morning, this is what you're going to see. Just gorgeous. And then, of course, by Sunday, one day later, let's just show that. Sunday, the moon will have moved off farther away, lower down to the horizon, heading towards new moon by early next week. So, folks, lots of things to see. Don't forget, next week, we will be heading into another meteor shower. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it. This is the Geminid meteor shower. I'll have more information in my next edition of this episode next Monday, so do tune into that. And of course, I'll be putting up sky charts for all these different interesting things that I talk about. I'd love to hear what you're doing, what kind of sky watching you're doing. Share it with me in the comments. It's fantastic to see our community grow. We're over 70,000 strong, at least on Facebook, and we're over almost 4,000 strong on YouTube and on other platforms as well. Thousands of you, and I just love that you're tuning in and sharing your amazing sky watching stories. And you know what? Don't be intimidated by looking at the stars. It's easy to do. You don't need a telescope. You don't even need binoculars to just begin learning the sky, and share it with family and friends. It's a free hobby. It's open and accessible to all of humanity, wherever you are, even if you're in the city. I'm showing you stuff during these live streams that you can see within the city with the naked eye and even with binoculars. So check it out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And of course, as always, I hope you stay healthy and safe. And until the next video, clear skies. Bye-bye, guys.